Hello, everybody. This is Toni Turner, and welcome to the Market Now on Friday, September 27th at about 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Well, Wall Street's main stock indexes opened higher today with the S&P 500 near record highs after soft inflation data raised expectations that the Federal Reserve could now focus on shoring up the labor market and continue easing interest rates. And on that cheerful note, let's go on to three charts that could give us an insight into the week to come. First of all, as we always do, we're going to look at a daily chart of the S&P 500 SPDR, symbol SPY. Of course, this is the exchange-traded fund that closely follows our benchmark S&P 500 index. Now, today when I captured this chart, the SPY was trading at $572.15. That's about 57.21 on the S&P 500 index itself. Now, it is trading right now at yesterday's all-time closing high. Hard to see these little tiny red candles here, I know. Yesterday or Thursday's all-time closing high so far was $572.30. We're right there right now, so we'll have to see where it closes today. Now we know back here, look left on the chart with me if you will, that after making, we know for sure that after making July's all-time closing high, that was a prior all-time closing high that stayed in force for a while. So after making that July all-time closing high at 564.86, the SPY rolled over and started showing some signs of being worn out. It rolled down to its 20-day, the red line moving average. It rolled down to its 50-day, tried to move up from there because this is after an incredible climb through the years. So then it came down. It gapped down below its 50-day on August 2nd to $535.75. Couldn't rally, gapped down again the next morning. We all remember August 5th right here. It gapped down to $511.64. Now, from there, we've got to give the SPY and the Qs too a lot of credit because it started climbing dramatically. Look at the volume down here, good strong volume, climbed up. Finally, in August, made it back above the 20-day moving average, the red line, the 50, the green moving average. Then came up here to establish August highs. From near July's high right here, but a little tiny bit lower. So it traded in a narrow range from 555 to 554, then dipped down back below the moving averages for a few days, then bounced higher, gradually back over the 50-day, back over the 20-day, and now sidestepping higher just a little tiny bit at a time. We see the volume in the past couple of weeks was strong, although in this past week it has tapered off a little bit, which is normal for this time of the year. So we can see here that after all that action was taken, we have a trend line and a lower, well, it's for an uptrend, a trend line coming here connecting these lows. We can bring a line over the tops of this, and if we do, we see that price has broken out here, of course, in the last few days, stepping up to all-time new highs practically every day. So we do have support back here at the August highs, potential price support should price begin to back off a little bit, and then of course the July highs back up at up at 50, where were we back then? 572. So we've got the July highs here, but we're over that, and we're up at all-time highs now. So if we head through the last week of the third quarter, and that'll be in the coming week, we need to see here if the SPY can continue to climb or if it's going to have to take a rest. Because after all, going into ending a quarter also means we're starting an earnings season. So that always gets real exciting. Our next chart today is a daily chart of the NASDAQ Invesco QQQ, symbol QQQ. Many times we call it the cubes. It follows the NASDAQ 100, and in it is the top 100 non-financial stocks in the NASDAQ stock market, including NVIDIA, Meta, AMD, Apple, Microsoft, that whole group. Now, when I captured this chart today, the Qs were trading over here at $486.99. That's the cubes are above the red line, the 20-day moving average, coming in at 472 and change, and definitely above the 50-day moving, coming in here at about 408. I'm sorry, the 50-day moving average coming in at $468 is what I meant to say. So this price here is about 3% below the all-time closing high back on July 10th. That was at $502.96. Now, after making that July 10th high, all-time closing high, which is always important, and that is still, by the way, in force. It is still the only all-time, the best all-time closing high that we have for the cubes. Now, after making that July 10th all-time high, the cubes ran over, fell below the 20. That was a real steep move there. When you see something that steep, it's tons of fun, but be careful, because especially with a great big red candle here that can't gap up or move up above the prior day's high. So that dark cloud cover here, as they call it in candlestick technology, is something to really watch when you see it. So we gapped down here, gapped down below the 20-day, below the 50-day, moved down and gapped down on August 5th to open at $424.71. Now the Qs did drop below their 200-day moving average that day, but good for them. The cubes managed to rally, and for the following 3 weeks went back up through the 20-day, back up through the 50-day, up to an August high at 485.54, rolled over down to 448. But look, guys, made a higher low here, and that's what we're always looking for, strength. Whoop, I didn't draw that very well, did I? A higher low here. That's what we look for in uptrends, higher lows, higher highs. Look at this little uptrend. That's what it is. Now, this one didn't really make a lower low yet, so we're watching this move here in this triangle. We can draw a lot of different lines here. We can draw this line and say price broke out, which it did. We maybe can dabble along a little bit over to this Thursday high, but I'll see now where that's going to go. We do have these lines drawn in here that are giving us potential boundaries at around the 50-day moving average at 486, and then up here back up toward this 50, well, it's actually 503, we're going to call it here. We do have those trend lines, so we do have potential price resistance at yesterday or Thursday's high of this week at 493.94, 494. Again, of course, the resistance at 503. So the next week, as we said, is going to be interesting as, again, we head out of the third quarter of the year and into the fourth quarter. And again, as I said, with that comes a new earnings season, which always adds to the fun. So, okay, stay tuned. Our third chart today is a daily chart of the Invesco Wilder Hill Clean Energy ETF, the PBW. The PBW has 69 holdings. Some of the top holdings include EVGO, Sonova Energy, Sunrun, Rivian Automotive, and Tesla. So this is one way to own Tesla. Okay, so I'm looking at this because so many stocks, so many ETFs are overbought now. Sometimes when the market gets like this, I like to go where potentially not that many other traders are, but it's something that will become that will start up. So I'm looking for, I look for the PBW is actually trading at multi-year lows right now, and so I looked at it on a monthly chart, and you can't see it on here, but I can tell you that from the year 2011 to the year 2020, okay, from 2011 to 2020, It traded in a range from $17 to $40, just pretty much in a big sideways range. And then all of a sudden in 2020 it started up. In 2021, it shot up to an all-time high in February 2021 to $138.60. Again, you can't see this on your chart, but from that $138.60, it then headed lower gradually, down and fell gradually to where it is now. And if you can see on our chart here, from February of this year, price is gradually, it's trying to move higher, it's gradually moving lower. And so we came up here in July to the 200-day moving average that was coming in here at about 24, came overhead. The PBW, as I said, has been gradually, softly coming down here. Then in August, it hit a low here of about 1750. Then another low in September at about 1750, 1770. But then held these, whenever we get, looks like there's a little more action in here, whenever we get like a double bottom potentially forming, I want to look at it. And this is a low risk trade as long as you're smart with it, of course. So nobody's looking here in clean energy right now. I brought up several ETFs. This is the one I like the best. So this is a potential bottom fishing play. That's what I'm going to use it for. I know it won't be exciting, but it's somewhere to, maybe it will be, but it's somewhere to keep some cash dry anyway. So this is, again, a potential bottom fishing play. So if price comes up here, it came back down underneath the 20-day and the 50-day. Then today so far, it's broken out up over the 50-day moving average. So in the coming week, if the PBW can stay above its 20-day and 50-day, so essentially the 20-day is down here at $18.98, and the 50-day is just a little higher. So if you want to call that 19, you can. But in the coming week, if the PBW can stay above this price level, call it 19, I will add a small position of the PBW to my trading portfolio, and I'm going to put a stop below the 20-day moving average at 1880. I'm keeping it pretty tight. If and when the PBW can rise above, here's the 200-day now coming in at 22.29. So that's coming down overhead. So I want to keep an eye on this. If and when the PBW can rise over the 200-day moving average and trade over 24, okay, because that's the prior high here, and trade over 24 for 3 days, I will add to my position, and my stop will be a trailing stop. So you may want to keep an eye on the PBW in the coming week. And now check out this news from ToniTurner.com. We've lowered the price of all of our online training programs to make them more accessible to everyone. So if you'd like to become a more profitable trader, now is a great time to check out my timeless training programs. How to Bottom Fish Like a Pro shows you how to find low-price stocks that are poised and ready for their next breakout, hopefully like the ETF we just looked at, the PBW. It shows you how to buy low and sell high and take maximum gains from long-term trades. With this strategy, importantly, you'll know when to buy, how to easily manage your position, and know exactly when to take profits. Now, our new discounted price for this program of How to Bottom Fish Like a Pro is only $199, and you receive a great deal with it. You'll receive special bonuses, too, when you order, including 1 month of Metastock daily charts or Metastock real-time charts for free. So from our popular 7 steps to successful trading, how to swing trade successfully, how to trade the trend to profits, how to read charts, great for newcomers, 3 winning setups, great for short-term traders. Find out how these timeless online programs can help you earn more money quickly and easily. And once you purchase, you have unlimited access and you can learn at your own pace. So be sure to check them out by going to the link on this screen or simply click on the orange button below. Until next week, be careful out there. Keep green on your screen. I'm Toni Turner, and this is The Market Now.